Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. What if Naruto was god of dark magic and had unlimited harem? Movie. A young white boy barely the age of 12 was stretching his body as Misty Morning was welcoming him. He a black cap, that had an odd golden plate on it with a hand imprinted on it. Above his head he also wore a tan elementary uniform, that consists of a jacket and tan pants. Underneath the jacket is a white button shirt. He has spiky white hair that gave him an air of nobility along with his ruby-colored eyes that were hypnotic to gaze upon. He was of average height of normal kids save for his more toned body, due to being a far more active child. Around him was the moaning and crying bodies of middle and even high schoolers around him. Taking out a notepad he spoke, "Your receipt, you can keep the freakin' change," he said, tearing the paper that said, "One beatdown," and casually walk away. God, I love that show, he whispered to himself. Moving past some bodies, he enters a street looking a policewoman. He smiles. He pinched himself as tears came from the right amount of pain came. Sniff, ma'am. He cried as the woman rushed to his side. Bullies hick took my lunch money. He pointed to the area of the beaten teens. Don't worry, I'll get it back. With that done, Naruto left knowing it was going to be while before she came back. Okay, time to pick up my Naruto. The boy turned around to see a dark-haired woman with long hair. Her hair had two bangs that frame her face perfectly. The young woman was wearing a dark hoodie with blue cloth strings on it. She wore white jeans with a blue with strips belt. She also wore casual sneakers with black, white, and red colors on it. She had young face, especially for someone her age that the young man knows. Perfect unblemished white skin that made her shiny ruby-colored eyes more radiant. Shouldn't you be in school? She said with a smirk. Yup. But some new gang came here and I had to beat them down, he said, honestly knowing she liked it when he did that. Aoko-sensei. He hugged her suddenly as she quickly returned it. HMHMHM. She giggled before noticing something. Put it back. Damn. Naruto sheepishly grinned at her as he had a wallet in his hands. Sorry. Taking things during our training is fine, but she looked into it before presenting her open hand. Come on. Fine. Placing hundreds of yen bills, he pouted. I never win. Patting his head, the woman shook her head. Nope, now get to school, she said, playfully kicking his rear to make him go ahead. And don't forget today's training, we're going out to eat. Okay. Watching her student walk away, she chuckled. If I was his age, oh well. Maybe my next life, hee. Aoko said to herself as she placed her bills into the wallet. Motherfu, he finally stole my credit cards. Sniff. I'm so proud of him, the woman said with a pride look on her face. XXXXX. The boy entered a house via backyard door. As he saw a redhead teen boy buttering his toast, he had soft kind amber-colored eyes. Oh Naruto, where were you? I thought that you already left for school, the teen asked the pre-teen boy. The white-haired kid looked at the teen. He had red hair and similar to Naruto's hairstyle, it was spiky but in shorter style. Like Naruto, he wore a high school version of the school that Naruto was attending, but underneath was white shirt with short blue sleeves. His amber brownish colored eyes held kindness as he smiled at the young white-haired boy. Sorry Shuru, had to do a quick errand. He lied knowing that Shuru doesn't like it when Naruto beats the crap, protects the neighborhood. Naruto head turned when he saw the door to the front door and main hallway open. There was a young girl a year or two younger than Naruto, with the same ivory white hair and red eyes that he also possessed. She wore a tan elementary school uniform. Morning everyone, she greeted softly as the young girl sat next to Naruto, who had sat down a while ago. Hey Naruto, she smiled with a small blush on her cheeks. Naruto nodded as he saw another white-haired woman place a plate on his table. It was a delicious-looking Western breakfast. 2 Sunnyside eggs, Japanese bread that was toasted perfected brown. And there were also some pancakes. He turned to see the white-haired girl also had the same meal. Hey Ilya, he said, lowering his head to quickly scarf down the food. Oi, Shuru frowned. I'm glad you like the food, but take time to enjoy it. Sorry, can't, I'm gonna be late, Naruto said, quickly wolfing down more of his breakfast. Naruto, please take the time to eat. An older woman, in her early 20s, said kindly to the young man as he blinked before taking smaller bites. Thank you. Of course, Auntie Sella. The teen replied to look at the woman and saw a white-haired adult female, nearly similar to Ilya. She ruby-colored eyes and alabaster white skin. She wore a white sweater underneath a red apron and a mellow green skirt. Gah. The woman bent over in pain before looking upwards. See, call me Nay-san like you used to, she cried out as Naruto ignored her, as he turned to Ilya, missing another pained look from the older woman. Naru, Ilya tugged on his arm. You think that would come today? She asked excitedly as Naruto continued to eat, before shrugging. He gently cut into the sweet flapjacks into small triangle pieces, not really hearing her as he really loved eating these sweet treats in the morning. Yeah, probably, he absent-mindedly said as Ilya squealed into her hands, excited as she could be for the thing to come. Naruto turned his head to the side as he saw, boing. A small blush came to the young youth as he saw two jiggly mounds of flesh in front of him. It was busty woman wearing a loose, dangerously loose top that was peach and white color that had a single line of fabric to go around her neck to prevent it from falling, along with short shorts that were making Naruto unable to stop it. Shaking his head, he noticed her red eyes meeting with his own, and like the other females she had ivory white hair. Well, good morning to you, Naruto-kun. The mature woman greeted sultrily, even though she didn't mean to. And, puberty was hitting him, hard, again. Why can puberty hit him this young? Thunk, his head hit his plate, thankfully no more food on it, as he wouldn't stand up for a bit. I hate you, Mom. No, not really, he murmured into his plate, which muffled his words. Why did you hire pretty women with a kid like me here? Naruto, talk to me. Ilya pouted. Wait a minute, Liz. Why are you here? Sella walked up to the other older girl as Naruto looked up. You're supposed to finish cleaning the upstairs rooms, no food until you start helping out more. Wrong move to make Liz do it, huh? Naruto spoke into his plate once more, chuckling at the lazy girls waving Sella to calm down. Shuru lifted his hands up trying to diffuse her anger. Bitch move, hey now, there's no harm in it. She quickly got into his face, angry clear on her face as she was ready to tore into the poor yet kind boy. Not another word from you, Shuru. You're supposed to set an example as the eldest sibling and be a role model for Naruto-sama, she said, looked at the white-haired male, sighing as his chin rested on the plate. For what? Shuru said, knowing that he was good sibling to his younger brother and sister. He didn't know what Sella was talking about. Sella pointed to Naruto, who lifted his to give a small prayer. You see? You've forgotten to say your thanks for this food. Why can't you be more like the young lord? Sella gushed, ignoring both Shuru and Naruto, giving her a deadpan look at her intense love and devotion to Naruto. Naruto smiled gently as he enjoyed this, family, friends, and a nice stable life. What more can a guy ask for? The three were now dressed up for school, Shuru and Naruto wearing a tan school jacket and tan pants. Okay, ready, Ilya stated as Shuru opened the door to show the blissful son to his younger siblings. She smiled to her older brother, thanks for waiting. Naruto turned to the two older women before moving his hand to tell to get closer. Nay. The two did, leaning forward. Chew. The two moved back, both with bright blushes on their faces, to see Naruto grinning at them. Thanks for the food, and for being here, the child said proudly as he and Ilya left the house quickly. Last white-haired kid to get to school has to buy the buns today. Hey Naruto, wait up, Shuru shouted as he ran after him. And I'm the only white-haired girl. That's not fair. I'm the only one, Ilya cried out as she tried to catch up to the male boy. Liz smiled softly before closing the door, and noticed that her friend, co-worker, was just standing there dazed as she placed a hand on the cheek. Naruto kiss. Kono Shotokan hentai, Liz stated bluntly. Sella said, surprised, blushing red at the insult that her friend says to her face. What are you talking about? The serious was left alone as Liz just walked away with a smirk. Of course, Liz was Shotokan as well, so she had the right to call Sella one, but she never was dumb enough to show it so easily. XXXXXXXXXX as Naruto walked to the streets, with Ilya and Shuru catching up and soon surrounded by their friends, he looked downwards. As usual, as the Yojimbo of the school, many people fear him, but slapping his cheeks. Yosh, time to reach for the sky. He stood on his tiptoes and stretches his arms upwards. Alright, one day, he vowed before heading to class as he reached the school's gates. Ding dong ding dong. Ding dong ding dong. Asterisk, the young man suddenly appeared in a classroom full of students as he was in his seat in the front right corner of the class. Alright guys, let's do our best again this day. Who is brave enough to do this? A brown-haired woman asked. Okay. Naruto Einsburn. He turned to see his teacher. She was 24-year-old woman with short light brown hair and eyes. She wears a green dress with a yellow and black striped shirt and white-brown sandals. She always did go against the norm when it came to dressing in school. Her face was young due to her being childish. Whoa. Naruto dodged an eraser from the woman who glared at him. Did she hear his inner thoughts and berate her? Anyway, this was Taiga Fujimura, his teacher and Shiru's former teacher when he attended to this school. Naruto wasn't caring as he already did the work beforehand, and took out his sketchpad to show anime characters. 3 of them scarf wearing a suit looking like gentlemanly thief. All of which looked like Naruto if he was grown up. It had the title, Maho no Eiyu, Magic Hero, Naruto. He turned his head back to see Ilya also doodling in her notebook and smiled. It was a trait in the family to daydream. He turns his head to see his teacher pointing at him for the English sentence to be read. Time to excel like always. XXXXXXXXXXX. Ah. Naruto grabbed his head. I forgot my tablet. The Tsukihime Forever Limited event is about to end. The young man cried as he grabbed his school bag to quickly run back home, ignoring teachers and students waving at him. I can't let others summon Red Arcude before I do, he said before grabbing a pair of headphones, and soon a song started to play. The young man walked down the street as he saw an airplane above him. Huh? That's weird. Who's coming to this city in this time of year? He asked himself before paling at the remainder of his last few minutes of clearing the event. XXXXXXXXXXXXFUYUKI Airport. XXXXXXXXXXX. A young teen woman, wearing a red sweater and black skit with black leggings, stood on the moving sidewalk of the airport line. Sighing deeply, I can't believe I was forced to come back here after just a year abroad. It's been a while since you've been home, has it not? A cheerful yet mischievous voice, that came out of the girl's suitcase that she was holding onto, suddenly said. How are you feeling, master? I'm annoyed, was her only answer. This whole thing is a big pain. Oh, don't be such a party pooper. Where's your sense of thrill? Back where it should be, the girl sighed. Well, at least you went through customs without getting flagged. The red-clad girl stated, slightly happy that there will be no other delays. What a dull and unsightly country this is. The red girl eye twitched hearing another woman, slight accent coming from her words due to being used to another language than Japanese. Not a shred of elegance anywhere. Reminds me of a certain someone I know. OHHOHOHOHO. Ruby, I changed my mind. I'm not annoyed, I'm actually infuriated. She turned back to glare at a blonde-haired girl with her hairstyle into curls that were almost in the shape of drills. Coming back here with this idiot of a rich snob makes me want to puke, she declared as the blonde girl glared back. The blonde was wearing a long dress that was the very meaning of high class, with the top being a filly white and blue dress that somehow contained her bountiful censors. Her lower portion was a very long skirt that many women back in the older ages would approve of both style and morals. She wore white long thigh-high socks and white designer boots. She also wore blue ribbons on the sides of her head. I'm the one who wants to puke, Rin Tasaka. She answers back with a snap of her own. After all, need I remind you that it's completely your fault that things have come to this? Please do not fight in public, master. A mature voice came from the blonde girl's suitcase, as it held a more kind and patient tone. Isn't that why you two were forced to leave? The two girls turned red from embarrassment, but also another reason. We know. The two yelled at the blonde teenager's suitcase. They glared at each other for agreeing with each other. However, before they continue arguing, another girl stepped between them. She had dark skin, naturally beautiful, as she wore odd clothing that others in the area looked at her oddly. She wore a black cape over a revealing white dress that has a large golden V that nearly exposes her upper body region. It stopped short where usually a short skirt would reach. Allow it to be one-piece clothing. I have to remind you that people are staring, Lady Lovia. The two girls gave deadpan looks, as they knew the real reason why. Sure, Ronnie, they said, as neither one wanted to add more fuel to the fire. It is sad that the one who usually causes the most attention stops the ones who would make an even bigger one. A male voice, which held a tone of wisdom and maturity, said, Lady Ronnie, I suggest we leave them behind and go on to the task. The girl looked into her suitcase, in purple, and nodded. Yes, I mean Topaz, she said before walking forward. Let us go on ahead. XXXXXXXXXXX Einsburn household XXXXXXXXXXX were home, Ilya and Shuru's voices came as they enter the home, after doing a little race after clubs were done for Shuru. Welcome home, Miss Ilya. Sela appeared from the corner, greeting her young lady while looking towards Shuru. And did you walk her home? Yeah. I was able to get her from coming from my school. He stated, lowering his bag, as he didn't have to bring upstairs. He already got the material done ahead of time. Naruto is home, I'm taking it? The young woman nodded as she placed both hands on her cheeks. Yes. The young lord came at once and even helped me make tonight's dinner. Ah, such a sweet boy. The two siblings gave dead stares to Sela as she always fawning over Naruto as long as they could remember, coughing to erase any trace of her previous attitude. Ilya. I believe a package arrived for you. She placed a finger on her chin to remember what it was. Now what was in it? DVDs, I believe. Ilya's face couldn't smile wide enough as she finally got the item she wanted for the last week. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. She repeated the phrase, entering the living room. Finally use it. The two older members watched the young girl leave, wondering why she was so excited. Gah. They flinched when hearing a cry of alarm from the girl to rush in to see Ilya glaring at Liz. I am Bushido Musashi. The busty teen was watching a magical girl anime, with spooning with Naruto. As she waved to Ilya, yo, she lazily replied. Ilya was not pleased with that response. Liz One-chan, how mean of you to start watching without me. And why are you cuddling with Naruto? The boy in question was on his tablet, groaning out loud as he lost his chance again. Aw man. I got another pair of Mystic Eye Killer glasses. I hate gotcha rolls. He dropped his device as he lost his only change to grab his best member for his team. Liz looked downward at Naruto. Chill, I rolled for you when you left. Check your team inventory. She announced as the blonde went wide-eyed and did what she said. And lo and behold, Red Arcuid and Archetype Earth. He turned around and hugged Liz tightly. I love you, Liz. Oi. Ilya pouted as Liz gave a thumb up to her. Don't worry, I won't steal him, much. She joked, 50%, to her lady. Besides, I'm the one who paid for these and he is hugging me. That's true, but, the youngest girl tried to retort only to come up with nothing. Ah. What's wrong? Cat got your tongue. She stuck her tongue out playfully. That's what she has been happy for this week. Sela asked Shuru, who nodded. The teen looked at the bickering girls and spoke. Yeah, the rare disc collection with the 3 hidden episodes. Ilya really wanted that anime. To think Lady Ilya was succumbed to such trivial things, Sela dramatically spoke as she placed a hand on her forehead. And Lord Naruto with those mobile games too. Oi. Don't be talking about my waifus, Naruto roared before Liz dragged him back into her grasp as her pillow again. MMMMRFPH. MMMMMRPPPHHH. He muffled, having his head stuck between her sensors. How am I supposed to face their parents like now? They tasked me with taking care of things in their absence. Sela resumed before glaring at Liz's lucky position of holding Naruto. Sorry, but he's all mine for today, Liz said playfully. Shuru knew that if he didn't say anything things were going to blow. Liz. Naruto is turning blue. He pointed and turns to Sela. And that's how things are today, it's going to affect all kids. Wrong words, buddy. As soon those words left his mouth she glared at him. And what about you? You may be their brother by name, but you are still responsible for trying to guide them into the right path. And yet here you are, trying to derail them from said path. Shuru deadpanned. What was that? Sela yelled as soon as the teen realized he spoke out his inner thoughts. I mean that you crap. He quickly ran towards upstairs with the older woman giving chase. Get back here and face my wrath. Liz. MMH. The white-haired girl turned to Ilya, who looked suddenly scared. I think you killed Naruto. She pointed to a limp and deadly white Naruto in Liz's sensors. Whoops, she said, letting go as Naruto fell off the couch and landed on the ground dead to the world. Ah. Naruto-kun. Ilya panicked as she let go of him. Come back to me. Don't go into the light. She then smacked both of his cheeks with a backhand. XXXXXXXXXXX above FUYUKIXXXXXXXXXX in the middle of azure midnight sky was 2 large blasts of magical energy colliding with each other. As many more in various shapes and sizes bombarded each other constantly. Again and again, to show a red-clad woman using a magical star inside of a circle to block the blue energy blasts attacking her. As it successfully blocks it, The person moves back as she waved her wand to send numerous sphere of red color energy to her enemy. To where the blasts were heading was Blue Dress Woman, summoning up a large pentagram magical shield to barely stop the attack from hitting her. But it turned red as she drained it, then sent the force back twice-fold. The explosion was massive as the waters of the city under them. Quickly as the impact came, the two lights retreated away from one another. The girl lifted her face to show it was the girl earlier from the airport, wearing a magical girl outfit. A red dress that covered her body and along on top of her head was cat ears on her. Rin, I really suggest stop doing this pointless fight. The voice came, as a wand moved around as if to gesture its words. And why should I? Rin huffed. That snobby rich girl got in the way. She turned her eyes to see the aristocratic blonde girl smiling at her. Similar to Rin, she wore a magical girl outfit but in blue and more along the lines of royalty. Also like Rin were golden fox ears on her head and tail with it. Goodness, how are you unable to die, Miss Gorilla? Lovia stated as she smirked at Rin, who was covered in soot and damage. Why don't you return to the jungle? Well now, looks like I have to agree with you. Rin trembled before pulling out a card that had a woman in armor holding a bow and arrow. I'll send you packing into the wild, you crazed lioness. I shall do so. Once I send you packing. Oh, ho 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 ho, she said, pulling out a card of her own, but the card's picture was turned away as she placed it, as did Rin, over their wands. Class card Archer, Lancer, include. They roared, as they were ready to end this battle. But nothing happened to them. Rin looked at her wand in anger as she poked it with her card. Huh? Come on, Ruby, include. What's the matter, Sapphire? Lovia looked into her own wand for an explanation. A deep sigh came from the red-colored wand. Man, I can't put up with you girls anymore. It moved one of the wings that were decorated on it, in manner of placing a hand on one's own head. The Grand Master only lent Collide sticks to you both so you can work together and carry out the mission. Rin could only glare at the betrayal of her own weapon as she then heard the usual laugh coming from the rich snob. Oh. How disgraceful, Rin Tasaka. Your own stick is lecturing you. Lovia cried out darkly at the woman. My superiority as a holder couldn't be more obvious. This applies to you as well, Lady Lovia. A voice similar to Ruby spoke, unlike the mischievous tone. It was more mature and kind-spoken as it finally spoke up. How does this apply to me? I am far more certified than this, brute woman who. You have ignored your duty to the mission. She stated, earning a cringe from the blonde knowing that she had indeed did. You have been also complacent in honing your magic and, might I add, flaunting too much of it. I deem it unfit to be my master. What are you saying? How dare you? Ha, censored it. Rin crudely stated as she was loving the fact Lovia got owned by her ally. What was that about being high class? Well, that's that. Ruby said as she and the blue wand pulled away from the girls to levitated by themselves. Earning the two girls' confused looks. I guess this is where we say goodbye. Sorry for the inconvenience, but, Sapphire resumed for her sister as the two spoke in perfect sync for the next line. But we're taking a leave of absence, they announced to the now fuming ladies. Wait a frickin' minute. You wouldn't dare turn on your masters, so get back here. Rin roared, losing any elegance of her nobility at this slap of the face gesture. Laughing scandalously at her rage mode, Ruby snickered through her next words. SNRRK. You're not my master anymore. So toodles. Lovia didn't want to allow this either, pointing at Sapphire. You traitor. I'll make you pay for this. The blue wand bowed as Ruby also moved up as if remembering something. By the by, we took the time to revert you back to your normal forms. Better think of something before plummeting down to your doom. The two barely had time to look at each other, noticing their normal attire was on and soon, like Ruby said, plummet due to gravity. Splash. However, as luck would have it, they were over the river and only received a light impact to the watery surface. XXXXXXXXXXX finally, got, bond level 10, Naruto said Drain when plowing through missions to get the hidden quest in CG art. He looked under him to see Liz asleep, also noting she was really soft under him as well. He turns to the TV to see it was dark as the word end was on the corner of the screen. Oh, finished? Can I watch JoJo now? Blah. Why do you want to watch that? Naruto smiled, standing, while making sure not to step on Liz, because of the awesome manly moments, he said, looking suddenly different, more realistic and features more chiseled aura. Ilya just tossed him the remote, Dora, while walking away with a satisfied smile on her face. You know I love part 6, and you hate it. Don't use Josuke's phrase like that. Naruto roared as he changed the TV into the channel of where his favorite. Ha 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 ha, he's heading to for the 9th circle of hell, a kid in the anime said as Naruto got on his feet, as soon as an upbeat hip-hop song was starting to play. Naruto then did an odd dance, moving around erratically as religiously tried his best to mimic the dance. Naruto-sama, I drew a bath for you. Sella walked in to see Naruto's copying the dance what was on the anime, shirtless and sweating. Oh dear, she quietly said before the scene was too much and smiled goofily before slumping on the floor. The teen smiled as he finished the show with a smile on his cheeks. Today's EP was great, he said as he turned to Sella. Huh. Why does always happen when she comes to check up on me? He smiled as he walked up to the unconscious girl, wiping away a trail of blood from her nose, as he sat her up straight and placed a blanket on her. Night, he softly said before looking out from the door. I need to buy that bento before the sale ends, Naruto said as he moving outside to head for the nearest supermarket to grab his next school lunch. He stopped as the young man saw the way he usually goes to stop gangs from forming and also other idiots who want to mess with his city. The white-haired kid moved, but the second he stepped into the rocky road between the two white walls, he felt sick, but walked anyway. The young man felt something was strange. He doesn't go to his street often, but something was amiss, as if the world was upside down, or someone made his controller into the inverted settings. Thank God, no one from his streets or home would be near here unless using it as a shortcut. Why am I feeling like he stopped as he heard explosions, as many normal would run or call for help? Naruto headed towards it as he could prevent more damage from being done. XXXXXXXXXX. A trail of lilac light was flying by explosions, before moving into the air. It was Ronnie, wearing a light almost transparent lilac robe over a slightly less transparent lavender dress. She also wore a leggings both in different color, in her left leg was a purple color while the other is teal. This isn't good, Ronnie said as she was flung to the side as a female wearing a long trench coat barely able to hold large sensors she has. She also had a large, many two sizes, pirate's coat on her shoulders. Holding flint pistols at the young woman. Topaz? Any ideas? She looked down to see a topaz-colored wand. It was more of a wizard-style wand, a tri-directional diamond front, with topaz inserted in them, with the sides having two topaz-colored ribbons fall to connect to another set of topazes. The stick itself was golden as the bits of Ronnie's blood was scattered on it. No ma'am, I fear we have lost. The male wand's voice echoed as the woman shot a blast of magic energy into Ronnie's stomach, smiling darkly as the girl spat out blood. Her clothes suddenly turned golden lights as it floated away like bubbles in a gentle breeze. I can hold on to my powers with this much pain, she concluded the reason on how her clothing changes, a habit of speaking her logical mind aloud. However, she slipped to the side as she escapes a bullet. The dark-skinned woman tried moving despite the large wounds she has sustained in this battle, running down the road in hopes to get away to fight another day, but in her heart, it was only buying time. Turning to corner, entering a new street, only seeing that the enemy standing in front of her with a dark smile, and quickly spun to head back to her previous street, only to see her again. She was outclassed. She realized that her retreating was barely a few minutes. Topaz, get away. Find someone to fight in my place, she cried out, unable to keep a straight face anymore. Understood. Farewell. He said. The wand turned into a ball of light and left the area, leaving Ronnie crawling to a wall, as the dark pirate aimed her guns at her again. The dark-skinned girl gasped out a smile. At least I was able to allow Topaz to survive, she coughed as she heard the click of the gun. Bang! She flinched, and then opens her eyes to see someone grab the dark pirate woman's wrist to pull it away from Ronnie's direction. Not in my city. Ronnie's eyes widened to see a white-haired boy glared at the adult woman who had a real weapon, but gasped inwardly at his attire. XXXXXXXXXXXX moments earlier. XXXXXXXXXXX. Naruto continued running towards the explosion. Just what could have happened? Is it a terrorist attack? Is someone hired to kill somebody? Whatever it is, he had to help whoever is caught in the crossfire. Come on, make it in time. Naruto clenched his feet as he pushed his body to run faster. I suggest you stop, if you value your life. The boy looked upward to see a glowing. Are those kidney stones in the wand? The wand amazingly gains a tick mark. They are topaz, and run boy, you can't help. The object stated as Naruto glared at it. Before you ask, I am not the one causing the trouble. I was trying to stop it but my partner told me to leave her behind. And you did so? He questioned in anger as he grabbed the stick. She's going to die, from whatever is exploding. Boy, you don't understand. No, but I'm not stupid enough to do nothing, if I can do something about it. Naruto countered. So you either lead me to your friend or I'll find them myself. I don't have to, child. I don't care. Someone has to help her. The stick stood still, as if deciding what to do, before a soft chuckle came. As usual, I made the right choice. Grab the wand and think what you think as a mage boy. Naruto glared at him. Oi, it's Naruto, if we're working together give me respect. He smiled as he pointed at it, before pointing towards his own heart. And all respect ya. If the stick can send looks, it would be stunned before smiling at the child's declaration. HMPH, very well, young Naruto. The white-haired boy did so, channeling the image of what he thinks into this stick. His body glowed and before he could realize what happened, he vanished, eyes watching as the street he was in suddenly gone past him. Grab the hand. The stick voice said as Naruto did so and lifted it up to the sky as it shot empty space. Miss. You won this battle. Naruto said trying to look tough as he let go of the dark pirate's hand, ignoring the face of yearning from the older woman. I shall take over the battle. Topaz, you found someone to work with you, other than me. The dark-skinned girl coughed as the topaz wand glowed. Circumstances were fortunate for me to do this. I would rather work with someone on my wavelength. So to speak, the wand crystals glowed dimly to respond to the teenager. The dark pirate giggled. Something demonic given the voice was both human and distorted from what they heard. Naruto took a closer look at her. She had rather, whoa, those were huge. Shaking his head of desires, he glared as he saw a black pirate outfit and a battle dress made of leather and purple cloth. She had yellow sick eyes as the left one was covered by an eye patch, and lastly lovely lilac hair. I found you, Sochi, she whispered huskily at him, face blushing red as she gazed upon him. HMPH, as if you're my ma. She has a hell of a better bod and looks censored in white. He crudely stated as he tried to sound like his favorite manly character, as he lifted a hand and used his index finger towards her. I'd never believe I would find you here, but I can finally bring you home. The woman walked around Naruto, eyeing him like a dog to fresh meat. Ignoring her words, the white-haired teen lifted his arm to her face. A shame you're devilishly pretty. I hate harming girls. The woman scoffed as she nodded. Of course, you don't want to hurt mama. Come home and all will be forgiven. The woman stated with a dark and almost insane look in her eyes. Mama, licking her tongue across her lips, will make sure Sochi-kun will spend every day in blissful ecstasy, she promised with as she brought her hand to lick her index finger seductively, including this puppet to play with too. I hope you understand, I wasn't backing down. I was explaining I was going smash in that sweet face in. Naruto bluntly told her, earning a slightly shocked face before the woman gave a stoic look. I would admit I would be scared if you had power, but I'll just tap you out, she said, flipping the gun around to use it as a battering weapon. I would love to lick and play with you, but I hate to harm my baby. Just hold still. She quickly raised and brought down the weapon to knock out Naruto, who looked in shock at the incoming object. The card now. Topaz yelled at Naruto, feeling the power of the attack was enough to harm Naruto even in their new state of power. Card? Naruto thought, thinking it would be a good idea if the talking stick told him to, but he has never needed advice to fight before and using something he hasn't used isn't his style. His angry and resolve skyrocketed as a series of images of people dying as a shadow silhouette of a woman brought down her hand came into his mind. He growled as he made a hard fist. No, the white-haired teen said, as he suddenly stepped to the side and landed a heavy fist to the woman's face, evading her attack and the same time catching her off guard by his sudden move. Gah! She cried as her nose was shattered from the impact alone. What's going on? I don't feel his mana at all, so how did he inflict that much damage into this vessel? Is he that strong in terms of physical power? She screamed mentally as she fell, but stopped midway as Naruto gently grabbed her wrist. I don't know why, but I feel pretty angry at your voice, Naruto said offhandedly as he glared down at the woman, but I'll take my anger out on you, ma'am. He taunted as let go, making the woman unable flinched, before seeing his hands coming at her. Soon Naruto was throwing fists left and right at her. ignoring the pain coming from his own hands, to send every bit of his angst and hate into the woman's gentle features for upsetting him. Women, men, animals, or even ghost, scratch that last one. No one gets away with harm people living in his city. From Yakuza to delinquents, no one was safe from his wrath. Aura. Ora. He yelled out with every punch before picking up the woman and send one last good punch to her nose as she was sent away flying. However, she smiled even if her face was shattered and bruised beyond recognition. She smiled as she finally found him, her son, Naruto Uzumaki. She vanished in dark trails of glittering light. Kahahahaha. We'll meet again, my sweet child, one day. Your check. Keeping the freakin' change, he said, ripping out a single piece of paper from his trust notepad. It read, one more beatdown. The white-haired teen turns to see the dark-haired woman, blushing at her white clothing, but also her natural dark skin glistening in the moonlight and complimenting her odd lavender long hair. Thank you for saving me, Ronnie said as she managed to stand on her feet and approach Naruto. If you hadn't come, I wouldn't be standing here today. You have a gunshot, he stated out loud, losing his tough guy act as he turned green. That's a lot of blood. Ronnie smiled nonetheless, and took notice in the little boy's clothing. It was a dirty white shirt with a long collar that covered his entire nape, with black pants and black boots that started from the knee all the way to the bottom, and has a black coat with gold linings on the rim. It has a small golden rope and a button on his coat to hang it on so the coat doesn't fall off. Ah, your hair. Huh. He touched his hair and found nothing wrong, not even looking at his fingers. What I know white is. It's blonde. I don't know. Soon his eyes rolled over and fell forward, but thankfully Ronnie grabbed him, as she saw Topaz floating next to her. Is he the one? She asked, lifting him up bridal style. Indeed, the one who has survived, Naruto Uzumaki. The wand said softly, in a soft chuckle. The young boy groaned as his started to stir. Just what in the world happened to him? He slowly opened his eyes, that squinted when light peeked through, causing him to shut his again, before slowly opening them once more, allowing his vision to readjust and focus. The first thing he noticed was that he was in a room, but it's not his. It's one of those nice 5-star hotel rooms that only the rich could afford. Before he can do anything, he felt searing pain across his body. What hit me? Correction. What has entered in you? A soft voice said to his side, making turn his head to see a dark-skinned girl, the one he saved last night. Still nighttime, young man. She was looking down at a book, before gently setting it away. Good night. A smile made its way to her face. He found it a bit goofy to see it on such a straight face, but it was cute. Good night, Naruto awkwardly said, as if saying good morning in the oddest way to do. He looked out the window and saw it was nighttime. Where am I? He groaned, noticing his clothes were still not his own. Topaz is helping you adjust to your prana. It seems a heavy amount wasn't in use in what seemed like years. Odd. The dark-skinned girl explained as Naruto's hand lifted from the sheets to show a glowing topaz-covered wand. Perfect timing. The pain should be subsiding. The wand, the freaking wand, talked. Oh God. Did I eat something laced with drugs? Ma's going to never let me out of my house now, Naruto said with an uneasy smile, as he couldn't believe of seeing this stuff in real life. Rest assured, you are quite fine, the two emotionlessly stated, making Naruto wonder if they were one in the same. Really? You could have fooled me. Naruto chuckled nervously. I assure you, that you are also quite sane, the wand added. Well, can either of you explain to me what the hell is going on? Naruto questioned the two. We are Magus, or at least I am, the girl stated, as she held her hand towards Naruto before a blue cube appeared before her. Ronnie the 8. I am currently aiding the clock tower for a job here in your city. The wand soon retracted the stick, leaving only the top ornament to float, and I am Topaz, second generation of the Kaleidosticks. Ronnie's ally and hopefully yours as well. Magus? Clock tower? Kaleido what? Naruto listed off in confusion. Oh dear, it seems you're in the dark about everything, Topaz stated with an inquisitive tone. Very well, we are people who can use magic. Ronnie comes from an institute called Atlas, which is, in layman terms, a college for magic training. Okay, so you two are on what, extra credit? The blonde said as he saw Indian food near him, and watching Ronnie head nodding made him grab a plate of curry rice. Something like that. Ronnie answered the boy, inwardly delighted that he ate her food in quick speed. But of course, it's also part of my training. So there's no way I can skip out on this assignment. Alright, so what brings you here to town? Naruto inquired her again. I am not at liberty to speak on it, given that I was given on my special task, she concluded with a dark tone. Naruto gulped from both the tone and eating his food. So what, fourth survivor from Resident Evil? It's not like that. Topaz answered him. Topaz. Ronnie glared at the talking wand, as if telling him not to speak any further. Any more, and it would compromise their mission. I meant the game, I have played it. The voice chuckled as he looked at the teen. By the by, is the remake really that bad? I haven't gotten the chance to play it yet. Naruto nodded. Yeah, I mean it was hella scary, but wait a minute. Can we go back to the main reason I'm here? Yes, one of the side missions was that woman you saw. Ryder. Ronnie shook silently at the few hours that she nearly was killed from that entity. Only to feel a warm hand on her own, looking to Naruto, who reached out. Oh crap, sorry. He retracted quickly as he waved his arms erratically. I usually hold my little sister's hands and, sorry. The blonde blushed as he scratches the top of his head, and noticed the color. Oh no. He pulled out a few strains to see that it was indeed yellow and took a deep breath. I need hair dye, I need to get back home. You will not. Ronnie chided him. You're still recovering, and with the way things are now, you'll be targeted. Hold on, I shall do this. Topaz said as he dropped onto Naruto's head, and soon the color of a snowy white field was overtaking the blonde roots and the whole hair. Done. Forgive me, I didn't realize you prefer white. Hey, my hair's white again. Naruto exclaimed in surprise, as he tugged on his hair a few times. And it's not about preference, I just want to be like my family. Albino. The young woman stated before nodding. We'll talk more on that later. So do you remember that woman from a while ago? The white-haired teen indeed quickly made a mental picture of the woman who he met, the busty pirate hag. Yeah, she was hitting on me, Naruto deadpanned with a sweat drop. You said she was a rider? Yes, well about that, Topaz cleared his voice. That is one of my duties, to kill her and take back the power she has gained. Why? Imagine if magic and the supernatural was made public, what's the first thing society will do? They begin to panic, and when they panic, chaos breaks order, and eventually it leads into anarchy. Which cannot happen at all costs. To be honest, I would have done something like lead an elite force to take the powers, but that's just me, and a lot of crazed dudes. He muttered as the white-haired child then looked at the wand as it moved towards Naruto's face. However, Ronnie took more intense damage, so she can't fulfill her duties. It stated before tilting its body so it seems sideways. I beg of you to lead us your strength. I know it's a lot to ask. Nah, I can do it. I see it was too much to ask. Run that by me again? The wand snapped up quickly as it stopped its somber tone, to a funny serious tone. Dude, I can do it. Fighting monsters. That's like every kid's dream. I can be my own JoJo. His eyes gleamed with stars and oddly enough sparkle around his head. Wait. Part 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5? The wand asked. Duh, part 3 and beyond. Hate to be the bearer of bad news, our powers are similar to Hammond, so you get part 1 and 2. Fuck. He cursed out at the idea of having a kitsune armored being fighting for him is now gone. Well, I can at least blow things up, right? Indeed, now if you would kindly listen to me. Ronnie stated as she stood up, sitting next to Naruto to touch his chest. Oddly developed for a child, the food did its job so you can return home. But allow me to come drop you off. Cool, he said getting out from the bed and looked at it. That thing is better than mine. XXXXX Naruto took a deep breath as he stepped out of the hotel but felt nothing amiss when feeling the cold air outside. Are we safe? Ronnie nodded as Topaz was floating next to her. It seems that she won't attack for a while. No, at least not for now. Topaz commented glancing the area. We can't be too careful though, it's how she nailed us last time. It seems they can appear whenever they want compared to the others. Others? The youngest out of the group asked as they took a different route when reaching the place they meet, so it's not just Ryder. Now apparently they are 25. 7 of which are need to be eliminated in 2 weeks while the others can be picked off at our leisure. The wand explained entering Naruto's space. Ryder seemed to attack us though, odd enough you were her target. Perhaps she was low on prana. Ronnie reasoned as the wand twirled, making an air of thinking on the idea. I doubt it, she didn't really use any. Although the idea isn't off, maybe as a battery for later. Wait, battery? What do you mean by that? Naruto looked at the wand. You see, you have a large reservoir of prana deep within you. Topaz began to explain. You haven't tapped into that huge reserve until recently when Ryder attacked you. So now comes the problem of you being her target, because she might drain however much prana you have, as much as she wants, at least just enough for her to survive. Ah, wait, how would she drain it? He asked, although the wand paled, turning black and white. Then Topaz returns to color as the middle of the jewels seemed to blush lightly, as he coughed to regain its composure. Why, you ever seen an eroge, the bad kind? Holy shit. Naruto blushed to Ilya's levels of crimson on what he meant by that. You mean? Yes. And that would mean aha. Ha, ha, thank God I beat her. The child murmured his thankfulness as they reached to his street. Topaz, watch over Naruto. Ronnie ordered as the yellow gem nodded, move up and down, as the child turned back to see her bow to him. Wait. Where are you going? Naruto questioned. Come on, I just saved your butt, and now you're going on your own again. I thought by now, you'd have learned your lesson. I have to go to the hospital. She answered, moving her loose and lack of clothing to the side, where a few bullets were in her given the number of holes that seem impossible for a normal human should be able to handle. I need time to recover, after school we train. Seriously, I could at least take you, don't bother, she needs to be knocked out before taking help. Not sure if she doesn't want to bother others or she's that thick. The wand stated rudely, but a curt noise of understanding came from it, call if you're attacked. Yes sir. Naruto glanced at the item with a fond smile, so you're the weapon yet you're caring for the user. Hey cute. Me? Cute? Hardly, Topaz scoffed. Can you hide? 'Cause I doubt my caretakers will be able to handle magic and talking toy. He stated as the item slowly turned to him, as if giving a hard stare. Sorry. I'll have you know that I'm capable of concealing myself. Thank you very much. Topaz huffed before spinning in place as it now was invisible with a small shimmer that showed where he was to the young man. Good idea. So let's take the. Naruto started to climb up the wall as he flung himself to the balcony, knocking on the glass door. Oi Ilya. Open up. I got led astray by a false prophet and lost my keys, again. Again. Naruto would have joked, but when hearing that voice, he got into a battle stance. That isn't Ilya, he stated as he lifted his foot and. Crash. Who's the dead man who entered my sister's room? However, the moment he barged in, what he actually saw was dark-haired girl with twin tails, wearing a red blouse and skirt that Naruto was sure that her butt would be on display if she bent over slightly. Oh, another girl, carry on. He waved at the dark-haired girl, before seeing Ilya in a magical girl costume. Cute getup, knight. He left the room as he closes the door silently. Crash. Naruto stood there with a toy gun in hand. Not that the girls actually know that it wasn't a fake, pointing at the red-clad girl. But, keep it PG-13, he warned as he flicked off the high school girl, got it? Slam. Okay, is he always like that? The high schooler asked the white-haired girl who laughed nervously. XXXXX, are you always like that? The wand asked as it suddenly appeared before Naruto. Not all the time. Naruto sighed while adding white hair dye into his roots. I always knew Ilya was for the other team, she just doesn't want to admit it. What? The wand said in slight shock from that sudden news. Oh, my little sister Ilya, for some reason I always see her in the future. Married either to a hot chick or never getting married. I feel like that how it seems to me. The young man said as he lay on his bed, I figure better a girl than a dude. You seem rather open-minded. Topaz commented. Nah, just kinda went with the flow. I mean my ma is a super hot woman that dad tells me to snipe people if they get too touchy-feely with her. Our maids sometimes faint with bright blushes and Shuru has a few girls go after him without him knowing. If I didn't get used to this, I'd be high-strung all day long. Yup. More open-minded than I give you credit for. Topaz commented again. Then again, all you pre-teens are open-minded. His sweat dropped. Anyway, you should sleep tomorrow as it is a school night. Yeah. Naruto waved off, before turning over and pulling the covers over him. I went all JoJo today. Tonight I will sleep with the fact I part 4 someone's face today. I never saw the appeal to that overly muscular anime. Topaz's sweat dropped once more. XXXXXXXXXX the next day XXXXXXXXXXX him. A nearly nude Naruto was looking at full-length mirror wearing only his boxers on his bed were many iconic clothing. To start my new life, I need an image after school. I don't think any of these would look good, Topaz opinionated. What are you talking about? I look great in any of these, Naruto argued. The pink one looks like a stripper would wear, a male stripper, he said as he pulled up a pink outfit with the chest portion was bare with a heart logo in it. Oi, chicks dig Giorno, Naruto said as he wore the clothing but frowned as his spiky hair ruined the image. I still can't do those curls. Then Topaz pulled out a ridiculous large jacket with a golden chain on the collar. This doesn't seem to be humanly possible for size. Yeah, but I can wear it when I get more Jotaro in my bod, he complained before taking out a scarf. Maybe young Joseph Joestar, he said before taking out his 2 fingers, index and middle, pointing out. Your next line is, Naruto smiled knowingly. Topaz noticed the clock and spoke, I understand, dressed to impress but school needs school clothes. Can we just take this another time? Oh come on. Where's your sense of fashion? It's going back to your closet where it should be. Now get dressed properly, Topaz said, before leaving him to change. We've got to reach a compromise, he pouted before pulling on his school clothes. After school. Now hurry up. XXXXXXXXXXXXX later on that day. XXXXXXXXXXXX I know I slept well, but I'm still tired, Naruto yawned, somewhat wobbling while walking, although he looked at his bag. Understandable. Topaz voiced softly came out. Magic usage is a different kind of tired. What do you mean? Aren't they the same thing? Not quite, Topaz answered. Can you explain at least? He quietly asked as he enters the classroom and sat in peace as others were walking around to speak with friends. Well, for one, your exhaustion is physical, while using magic is mental. When using magic, one must bring their concentration to the utmost fullest in order to utilize it properly. And it is more taxing than physical exhaustion. Okay, so, Naruto took out his notebook. So similar to a stand from JoJo, but like this, if my power is a separate source of energy, I would get burned out rather than only taking damage. So limited amount of energy to use and the risk of hurting myself, in a basic sense. Yes, let's go with that, Topaz muttered. Hey, I'm still a kid, who loves anime. If anything, my love for JoJo and other action shows are the reason I understood that. I mean, ever seen King Crimson from Golden Wind? It took so long to explain to my family when we watch it, he said before looking back over his notes. I still think I got it wrong. Well, in any case, just know that everything you know up until now will be thrown out the window, Topaz said. You'd best be prepared for that. So yesterday, me doing the auras and successfully kicking ass, is not going to happen again? He said with a smirk. I'm not saying it won't. It just has to be within reasonable means, Topaz replied. So, I can aura as much as I want. He smiled before he slammed his bag down to the ground, ignoring the cry of pain from his partner. He saw it was Ilya walking toward him. Hey Ilya, something wrong? Tired, Ilya pouted cutely. I want to sleep. I told you not to date, cause you have too much time to waste. He chuckled before stepping on his bag when he saw it moving for a quick second. So, what's her name? He smiled sweetly to hide his nervousness. Why do you want to know? Ilya pouted again. Cause you having an older girlfriend means I have to play the protective older brother shtick. He explained with a chuckle before he smiled honestly. Seriously, it's fine. We're not dating. She's Oni-chan's friend. Ilya lied pathetically, but Naruto took the lie as he nodded. Right. Those girls were transferred from what the neighbors said. His bleeding heart must have been helping them adjust or something. But why was she in your room? He asked as he heard Topaz snicker and vowed to ask why later. Just asking for some homework but went through the wrong door, she waved her arms about in a comical fashion. That's it. Naruto raised an eyebrow. Yeah. The white-haired girl sweat as Naruto's leer made her slowly lose face. She had to go with plan B. Oh. What's this? The newest chapter of JoJo Part 8. She didn't finish her sentence when she slowly pulled out the newest magazine filled with Naruto's favorite manga, and began to read it. She swore that smoke was coming out from the pages on how fast he grabbed it. Anything else, Naruto? She asked, knowing that he will say nothing. Why yeah, dinner is fine. He muttered as he chuckled when getting into a funny scene. God, that idiot fell for the money trick. I hope he dies off soon. He smiled childishly as he flipped into the next page. He survives, not what I want. Phew. The young girl wipes off her forehead from the close call. I want to stand. Naruto cried out cutely as he flipped another page. But what would be good for me? Star is awesome, but Crazy has that cool fixing skill. Then again I feel golden experience is the closest to me. Class is in session. Taiga came into the room, before tripping and hitting her head on the teacher podium. Blag. It's a wonder she isn't dead yet. Naruto said as the other students stared at him, which he pointed at his magazine. I was talking about Josuke 8th's mom. She's an airhead. Whoa, is Taiga-sensei dead? They all sweat drop at his sudden realization of their unconscious teacher on the floor. XXXXX. Thankfully, for Naruto, the teacher is fine, though she will be sporting a shiner on her forehead later on in the day. As Naruto masterfully hid his magazine while the lessons were going on, the time for lunch came. Going to the lunchroom, he yelled to his sister to run into the cafeteria, as today's menu was his favorite. Woohoo, lunch. That's something I never get tired of. He grinned as he swerved left and right while running down the hallway. You have something special in this school for lunch? Topaz asked from Naruto's jacket that he hid during class to make the boys somewhat pay attention. Nope, just ramen day. He announced, jumping down the stairs as he pulled out a purple rope with a small hook attached to one end, hermit purple. He threw it to the highest railing. Naruto spun himself to get into the first floor like a spy from a certain American film. HMPH, as if I want that stand. He chuckled, before letting go of the rope. I gotta remember to get it this time, or else Dad will get blamed for teaching me for hidden weapons, again. He complained as Stella chided the two males when Naruto left 10 different ropes at school when, daredevil-ing, from the rooftops. He gently walked as he cuts down time to reaching the cafeteria. Say Topaz? Yes. What is it? You mentioned cards the other day when we fought that busty pirate, right? What are they and what do they do? The wand didn't say anything as a sigh came out. Ever seen a magical girl anime? Like your sister did? Maybe a little. Naruto winced. Why? Basically an upgrade from a 6th member of the team from Plot Device. It chirped, so like Sailor Moon getting that super sailor form. Peeved, you watch Sailor Moon? Naruto cheeks puffed out, nared. The boy could feel the item just turning left and right in a panic. I had to watch with my own family. I had no like for it. It stutters out its excuse as Naruto patted his chest, although the item felt defeated in the end. Of course you watch, if you're a little girl, ha. I swear it wasn't like that. The wand said, slowly descending as if being bummed out from enjoying the small pleasure. It's okay. We all go through that phase, Naruto assured. I swear I didn't watch it for my own pleasure. Anyway, get some food. The voice of the magical item was back to normal. You're going to need it. Unlike the other, Ronnie is more theories and note-taking than actual work, unless it's needed. So you're going to study tonight. Right. Naruto nodded, before going on his way to get his ramen. 10 orders of miso, 10 orders of beef, and 5 of the salt ramen. He placed his money down. A lot for a kid should have, as it had a thin piece of paper to hold the bills. Like usual, triple the toppings, but quadruple the pork belly. Please, he asked as the lunch ladies all nodded to him, making the young magical boy to wait at his table. So who was that person we fought? As I said before, that was Ryder. Topaz said. She is one of 7 classes of servants. The other 6 are Saber, Lancer, Archer, Caster, Assassin, and Berserker. But we're facing like 20, right? He asked as he saw the first order of miso ramen came to him, and savagely ate it. Ignoring the students crying out, eat, 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 so like 3 for every class. Not really, just more than some others. Okay, so tell me about the other classes. What are they like? Let's see. Where to begin? Topaz sighed. Let's start off with Saber. They're considered to be the strongest of the 7, and one of 3 night classes, the other 2 being Lancer and Archer. I know archers, thanks to Jojo and Kenshin, but what's a Lancer? They are masters of the spear and are agile and experts in close-quarter combat. They capitalize on range and speed, using hit-and-run tactics. Alright, so they opportunities, or was it opportunists? He slurped down the last miso before attacking the beef ramen, and the others? Caster is the weakest of the servants, but they are highly adept in magic and have obtained knowledge some would consider forbidden. So in the world of Final Fantasy, that's a given. Save for Lulu, who can hitch a ride on Auron's area to get buff out. Naruto reference as the wand gave a hum of agreement. More or less. Topaz said. Now as for assassin, they're a tricky kind. Other than their namesake, they have an ability called presence concealment, which masks their presence before their targets realizes they're being targeted, and by the time they do realize, they're already dead. Hold on, I got one for this, Naruto thought before, Ome wa. Oh, Mo Shindiru. Topaz finished what Naruto said as the two chuckled. Alright, the last one is, Berserker. Their strength is said to be on par with Saber-class servants. They have an ability called Mad Enhancement, that in exchange for strength, they lose their sanity and induce rage on the battlefield. Damn, don't got a joke for that. Naruto said as he felt a little scare of meeting one. So, the young man took out a small notebook and drew the symbols of the classes. Sword, arrow, lance, a lion, a knife, a wand, lastly just a red dot. Before draw a single blank rectangle next to them. At least one of each class has appeared right. Naruto then made another blank rectangle with in it with an X14, and the others are unknown. Correct. The wand said as he moved up and down as if nodding. So you understand? Yeah. I hope. XXXXX end of the school day XXXXX. Naruto already left the class dashing ahead, while ignoring Taiga's yelling for him to stop, as Topaz told him to head for the hotel. So anything I need to know before we do this? He asked as Topaz finally escaped from the boy's school jacket to fly next to Naruto. Not really, just know that Ronnie takes time getting used to. The wand deadpanned. Also feel free to ask me anything, I was a student of knowledge after all. Okay. What's the meaning of life? XXXXX Naruto walked in the hallway with a stunned face. Huh. So the answer to life problem was cheese. Peeved. No, I was just lying. The wand chortled before Naruto grabbed it and cruelly dragged it across the wall. Sorry. Letting go of the magical object, they stop at what was Ronnie's room from what the receptionist, knocking on it, the blonde shouted, Ronnie, I got led astray by a false prophet, again. Again? Soon as the female voice said. The door opened to make Naruto blushed as he saw a nude Indian woman standing in front of him, dripping with soapy water. Hawawawa. Ronnie, you're naked in front of a kid, again. Again. Naruto comically shouted at his partner. Either way, he pushed her back in the room. Look, just wear something, he said, covering his eyes. Okay. Leaving the two, Ronnie spoke from in her room's closet. So are you ready for the training? It feels like hiring an escort. Naruto blushed, sitting on her bed whispering to himself, why yeah, I am. Soon she entered the room wearing her exposing outfit, so let's get ready. Right. Naruto said before dashing to the bathroom, and coming out in his mage outfit. Let's go. Why did you change in the bathroom? The dark-skinned girl asked as the boy made an X gesture with his hands. I won't ever be caught dead in magical transformation scene. XXXXX later at night XXXXX the three were walking across the neighborhood as the blonde took a sip of a bottle of cola that the group got when getting hungry. So, we've been out for hours and haven't seen the huge boob pirate, and by pirate I mean rapist, by that I mean my enemy to kill. Naruto deadpanned as he sat on the ground. Where is she? You know, this the first time I ever heard of a victim wanting to see there would be assaulter. The wand said with slight amusement. But indeed it seems so far our search is not for looking any of the beings from last night. So what? We have them come to us? Naruto asked, looking at the wand with a scrutinizing look. Nah. No way am I going to be jumped like that again. No need, if they indeed jumped us we known. Ronnie said as she turns to Naruto. You noticed that outside was weird when helping me, right? Yeah. But what's that got to do with anything? That's the mirror world. Usually we can enter there. Topaz stated, sitting next to Naruto, but these rouge anomalies tend to have their own little area, so to find one is like random chance. Great, and to think our work is already cut out.
Not really, it was like the worst possible first day to meet with that being. Topaz chuckled, nearly dying and dragging you into this world.
Yeah, that's for sure. Well, if I can get in it, I can certainly get out. Naruto said, punching an open palm before standing up. We might as well keep going. However, the second he said that, the three felt something coming over them, and noticed the night above them was now in another color. Looks like they're here now. Ronnie scowled, looking at the color of the sky. I didn't expect them to suddenly appear like that. Already. Naruto gawked at the sight. How come the sky's another color? That's because it's another kind of servant. Topaz answered. And judging by this one, it seems that an assassin-class servant showed up. Crap. I'm already dead. Naruto panicked, looking for any weapons on his body. No need. The three turned to see an orange-haired man wearing an orange Chinese GI. I will face you head on, he announced, walking forward with dark grin on his face. Assassin, Ronnie frowned. Get ready, Naruto. The blonde glared into the being. He was a middle-aged man with top body build that could be a skill fighter. His black color eyes shine with battle lust targeted at Naruto. His wild red hair was tied in the ponytail in the back. This guy's the real deal, Naruto said, as he got in a fighting stance, watching as the man got into one, and scared Naruto on how still and perfect it was. Oh crap, he's a grandmaster. A what? Ronnie said before blinking owlishly when an orange blur went by her. Son of a, he's fast. Naruto shouted as he tried to rush in and block the man's move before he could strike her with a chop. However, the boy's hand went limp. How? Kuhahahaha. The man jumped back loudly, or rather bellowing out his joy. Well, I'll be. Your hand only felt numb. Normally the bones break when my attacks go through and make a well-connected hit. He complimented Naruto as he put up his guard despite only having one hand. Topaz. What do I do? Naruto asked the wand. The wand glowed dimly. He is too much for you, I suggest retreating. It stated before the dark man spoke. I think not. I shall hunt you down with my fist that needs no second strike. Naruto, we have to retreat now or we're all dead, Topaz urged the teen. Not today. The being yelled out, censoring his fist back. Boom. Both Topaz and Naruto turned to see Ronnie with her index finger pointed out to the man, who she just blasted with an amethyst-like beam. I suggest we run. She turns to the others. Agreed. The two stated as they started to run, or in Naruto's case gliding. What did you do? I used one of my fellow students' gems to make a boosted up version of a stun bullet. It was enough to kill a normal and perhaps rip apart a truck. Wait, gems? You used actual jewels for magic? Naruto asked with a quizzical look. Not me, I use alchemy, she duly stated, but my teacher has taught me basic of all kinds back at Atlas. She stated before stopping, he's waiting for us. The young man watched as the orange-haired man was indeed waiting for them. Kuahahaha, you are a tricky group. How did he? Naruto gaped. That man is at the pinnacle of human strength, Topaz replied. As a servant he can do almost anything a superhuman being could do. I doubt that was even a full fraction of his power to get to here from where we were. Dang. We won't be able to run like this. Naruto gritted his teeth. Got any more plans? He looked to Ronnie, hoping she had one ready. I can stop him here and you leave. I rather not lose Topaz altogether, she explained as the man leapt forward. That's it. Time to do something stupid, Naruto said following the orange-clad man. Wait. What are you doing? Topaz cried out in shock. Something stupid. He roared, watching the man stomp his foot, and in that moment Naruto knew what he was going to do as he saw the incredible fast punch coming at his head. Naruto smirked as the fist missed his head, by just letting his knees give way. You're a kung fu specialist. The young man brought his fist upward to hit the orange-haired man's chest, as a loud cracking sound was heard. Got you? He stopped as he felt the older man's hand grab his hair before head-butting into the kid's forehead. Gh. The young kid moved back, pain so high that he couldn't register it. Drawing back his head, the man smiled as blood went down from his forehead from the force of the hit he had to do. Nice try, but it's not going to work on me. Naruto. Ronnie rushed to him to cradle the young man's head. Why did you do that? 'Cause it was the best way to win, he muttered, still seeing stars from the last impact. Well, most time the best plans often fail, the fighter stated with a grin. Alas, I have to bring you to your mother, lest she sends me back to the void. Void? Ah, so you don't know, the fighter said. Wait. Just wait please, Naruto said, having a scared tone as his face filled with anguish. For what? Me to change my mind. Me to reconsider. The man joked as a glow symbol glowed behind his back unknowingly to his knowledge, before vanishing. For the transport seal to send your fighting hungry ass away from us. Naruto replied with a painful chuckle. When did you do that? Ronnie inquired. He didn't, I did. I just assumed he would do it. Topaz said in slight fear. I'm not going to lie, that was easily the second stupidest thing I've ever done in my life, he said in deadpan manner. Wait. What was the first? You don't want to know, Topaz muttered darkly. Let's say it involves 7 stupid idiots trying to something even more stupid. Wait. Why isn't the sky returning to normal? Naruto asked as he looked around the area, to see it hasn't changed. Is there another one here? Ronnie turned and shook her head to point at the school. No, that's one of the location my fellow students are supposed to work on, she concluded, before looking back at Naruto. Do you wish to see them? The young man nodded, trying his best to stand up only for Ronnie to pick him up, smiling gently as it seemed a bit goofy on her. It made him return one to her. This might be hard, but I think we can do this, Naruto said honestly as they made their way to the school track and field. There he saw something that shocked him. It was Ilya wearing a pink and white magical girl outfit. The young man quickly put on his hood to cover his face. Move, he told Ronnie, as she nodded to move forward. They caught Ilya's notice as they walked while another teen and young girl walked to them, Levia. Ronnie stated as the new girl, the busty blonde she hasn't seen since arriving into the country. Oh Ronnie. The blonde noticed the boy next to her. Oh ho ho ho? You lost control of Topaz after all? No Miss Levia, I choose to work with the child and Ronnie allow it. The wand responded as Naruto noticed the third and last youngest of the group. Like Ilya, she was a very young girl with black hair with the bangs that were framing her face cutely, while 2 twin tails were done in the back and has golden brown eyes. She wore magical girl outfit in the color of sapphire. She wears a cute blue and black outfit in almost unitard style with a white cape and boots. She also wears a strap on her left leg where she keeps cards. He noticed that she held a red lance, dripping with fresh blood. Well, this is Miyu. Recover complete, Miyu stated before looking at Naruto oddly with small glare before turning to Ilya. Great, we all have underage students. Naruto saw a dark-haired, what a sec. Yo. What is she doing here? Naruto pointed at the twin-tailed high schooler. That is Rin Tasaka. Wait, you Japanese do it the other way around, Tasaka Rin. Ronnie stated as she bowed respectfully at the Japanese woman. Rin, this is my ally and possible student for Atlas, whose name I forgot. Wait, what? The older girls and Naruto asked. That was a joke, she stated with that goofy smile appearing on her face. That was so bad, Naruto said as he looked at the 4 girls in front of him. Miyu and Ilya are now allies in being magical kids. Cause there was no way he was going to be called a girl. So, wanna talk things out? Naruto never thought life-threatening battles would so more appealing than this awkward moment. Are you sure we should do this? Naruto asked Ronnie. I mean, I'm a bit skeptical about what we're doing. In the long scheme of things, we are going to work together. The 2 are going to claw each other's throats out, but might as well use them before the other dies. Ronnie gently said to Naruto, who had a horrified on his face, before he smiled. That's a good one, ehehe. Wait, are you not kidding? He said as Ronnie went onwards without rectifying her sentence. Ronnie, you can't be serious. Since when have I ever jested about something so serious? Ronnie raised an eyebrow. Wow. Remind me never to get on your bad side. Naruto as Topaz appeared next to him and bowing its body in agreement. He took out a watch to pale at the time. We might want to wrap this meeting up cause, if I miss my teacher's fighting lessons again for this, I'm going to be the one who's missing a throat. Alright, she kindly said before knocking on the door. Are you 4 finished changing your clothes? Why so formal? Naruto asked as Topaz just hummed in lost confusion. But the door opened to let them in, Ilya wearing her school uniform and that Miyu girl still dressed as a magical girl. They all noticed Naruto was still wearing his battle outfit as well as covering his face with his hood. Hey, why is he covering his face? Ilya said as Ronnie stepped up when Rin and Levia stood up, most likely going to reveal him. He wishes to be unknown in case something bad happens. We did face 2 servants that got away and doesn't want his friends or family in the crossfire. The Indian woman stated as the 2 other older females look at slight understanding and distraught. So Atlas was right that there are other cards besides the one that old man at the clock tower told us? Rin asked as Ilya and Miyu looked at the 3 older girls with wonder in their eyes. That is correct. Ronnie nodded. Now then, shall we be on our way? Wait, you're not going to tell us who they are? The class at least? Levia questioned as Naruto spoke up, massaging his neck too. All we know is that one is pirate and the other is a master of Chinese martial arts, he said as Ilya smiled widely at his tone. He sounds like Narancia from Golden Wind, she said before blushing at the confused looks she got from the rest of the team, save for Naruto who approvingly nodded to her knowledge. Sorry. Anyway, yes, we narrowingly escaped death twice, she said before lifting her hands to produce a small sphere of light. Fortunately, unlike the other cards, they can only drag others with magical energy to their area, otherwise, unlike the other cards yet again, are harmless. Ronnie stated as she had her hand away from the sphere, but, if they find us, placing a single finger in it, I guarantee that will give us no quarter and will kill us. Then what do we do? Ilya panicked. We will deal with them, just run when they search for you. Ronnie stated, not until we focus on the main objective, and that is the first 7 cards. First, wait, there's more than 7? Ilya asked after finally realizing that there were more cards than what Rin told her. I'll discuss that with you later, Rin promised her friend as she saw Naruto hood, and I suppose that you were willingly to help. That's right. I'll help you with whatever needs to be done. Naruto nodded. Alright, so. Rin spoke as she explained what Ronnie has told him. Before things were about to become more boring, he saw the cards that Rin was about to explain. We can talk more next time. Agreed. Ronnie said, dragging Naruto by his hood, with surprising strength no less. Come along, Arashi, we shall sleep together. Wait, who's? Oh, me. Naruto realized as his partner meant him as he quickly went to her side, ignoring what she said. The 2 older girls screamed as they saw Ronnie smiling goofily. That girl's sense of humor is scary, Levia said as her nemesis, rival, nodded at that statement. XXXXX, as always, we shall meet around 9 tomorrow, so please don't worry about time for schoolwork or activates. Ronnie said, bowing Naruto in his backyard, as they made sure to come way before Ilya did or knew that he was gone. But, might I ask a question? Naruto looked at her. Why hide your face from the others? Ronnie asked as she was confused on that reason for so long. Ilya, the girl under Rin, I think, is my kid sister. I can't let her see me wearing this. Because, I tease her on her tastes in anime. He said, bending downwards with dread on his face. I would be teased for years for this. I see. Ronnie nodded. Not really, but she felt like she had to say that in order to comfort her friend, patting his back all the while. Seeing his thankful look made her nod at him before walking away, allowing Naruto to knock on the back door. Yo. Girls. I got led astray by a hot MILF who wanted to kidnap me. Again, screamed Sella. XXXXX. Naruto smiled as he woke up after trying to defuse Sella from nearly going on manhunt for the person who wanted to kidnap him. That was a long hour as Ilya came home to see him finally convincing Sella to believe him on his joke. Well, at least she won't be raging this early in the morning, Naruto said, before sitting up and stretching out to loosen the muscles. I need to train with Aoko-sensei later, that assassin guy nearly got me. Shouldn't you be getting ready for school? Topaz asked, poking out of his school bag. Not really, he said before noticing a big ugly bruise on his chest and arm, where the assassin struck him. Damn, thank God Mama and Pa aren't here, he said, knowing that his mother would have flipped the city over to find that person to avenge her son. It still hasn't healed. Not quite. And damn does it sting. He winced as he barely touched it to receive such a sting in his nerves. That is odd. The magic outfit should have protected you, yet it seems that man's fighting style went past it. The wand said softly with slight worry in its tone. Yeah, Naruto sighed. These servants are more dangerous than I originally thought. That woman was easier to beat as she might have not considered your increased strength in that form, but this man knew that you were a fighter. We must be wary of him, and find out who he is, Topaz said before shot a look of confusion towards him. Wait, find out? He echoed as the idea seemed impossible. The guy is a grandmaster, in Japan? That's like finding a needle in a needle stack. I doubt any are from the past with such high specs as him. What are you talking about? I am not supposed to say this, but I doubt Ronnie knows about this. Knocking over a bin to wash one's body for water. Topaz tilted it to let water into it as it sank into it when it had enough to still float but just the right amount to bathe inside of it. Alright. The truth about these cards are this. They are spirits from the past given a second chance to fight, although not in that state. What do you mean not in that state? They are heroic spirits, people in history who were considered to most people as heroes who contributed to changing the course of history and setting events into motion that shape our current time. But for some reason or another, they are in those cards' forms. Well, save for Assassin and that busty pirate. Topaz said as he had a visible blush on his face, most likely from the hot water on his body. We've been a while since I had a nice bath. Focus. Naruto deadpanned before taking some soap and placed some of it into his partner's cup as it created some foam for it. Right, but we need our own cards, we have an ace in the hole. He stated as the wand cleared his throat. As I said, there are 7 classes, that were original a part of the design for the heroic spirits. Until we did some research, there are more classes, 2 in fact. Ruler and Avenger, the class killers. He said with an oddly proud tone. What exactly do they do? Naruto asked in confusion. Well, Ruler was an idea to work with. Supposedly the Grail was going to make Mediator based off a heroic spirit of Chiristanity, like St. George or Joan of Arc. The wand stated, a fair and neutral being that had no real stake in the reason for summoning the spirits. No real stake? In the Holy Grail War. Again, they're just mediators, only intervening if the rules within the Grail War are broken and need to be rectified. Topaz explained, before turning back whispering something, was sure that would jog something. He turned once more as the wand huffed. Well, don't worry about a war now, it's defunct at this point. Ahem, moving on, Avengers are the last resort we have. Topaz ominously spoke as its tone was now a darker sense of serious. What? They basically destroy anything and everything. Naruto asked offhandedly. Yes. What? Avengers are those who have been wronged in life and will avenge themselves in order to truly be free from their torment. They are indiscriminate towards any and everyone and will not hesitate to kill on sight. Naruto's eyes became slightly saddened by that description before Topaz continued. They are tools of destruction. From what it seems, these guys are prone to power and destroying as much as possible. So we face one, we need more than just ourselves to beat on. But we have one? Naruto asked as the being said this as if he saw it. Well, we do, but no one has found it yet. My creator told me about which ones we do have, that is Archer, that Ronnie has in her hands. Avenger and Ruler was the only ones not found. We just assumed that it was one of the cards that are materializing, but if not, we can greatly benefit from its powers. Naruto stood up before leaving the bathroom, knocking Topaz into the bathwater. Liz, call Mama for me. Naruto said as he dashed down the hallway, naked, to reach the phone, knowing that the lazy girl would start the dial for him. Naruto, what are you doing? Topaz demanded, after breaking out of the water surface and flying after him, before returning to the bathroom as he was supposed to not be seen. Ah, a few more minutes wouldn't hurt. Naruto-sama, what is the yelling thud? Whoops, hey Shuru, Sella fainted, again. Naruto yelled out as he grabbed a nearby towel that he keeps for emergencies while dodging a confused Shuru standing nearby. Thanks, Liz. He gave a thumbs up to the girl who returned the action, before she saw Naruto pointing to his nose. Ah, you got a nosebleed. He said, wrapping the towel around his waist before placing the phone on his cheek so he can hear the ringing on the hearing. Re-E-I-N-G. Re-E-E-N-G. Asterisk, come on, pick up. Naruto tapped his foot impatiently for someone to answer from the other side. Hello? A male voice came from the line. Crap, it went to machine. This is your father. The voice deadpanned with so much of it that the phone had a sweat drop. Oh, sorry, it's hard to tell. Naruto chuckled awkwardly. Nice to hear you, Dad. Sorry, I would talk more, but school is about to start. Can you get Mama for me? Something wrong. I just need to ask her something real quick. It's very important. Okay, Eerie. The voice slightly became softer when Naruto heard the phone swapping to another. Hell, oh. Naruto's face became bashful as he gained a slight blush. Hey Mama, he said sweetly as the woman giggled softly. It's been ages since I heard from you. Sorry, school was up and my lessons outside of it was taking too much time. But I need to ask, that thing you got me from the last festival you took me. Where is it again? Naruto asked. Thing from the festival. Irisville pondered, thinking about it before a small sound of realization came from her end. Oh, that. What about it? Naruto sighed as he placed his hand on the speaker part of the device. It's the truth, but he wants to be like Jojo, but desperate time calls for desperate measures. I want to keep a piece of you with me, even at school. he said sweetly like a boy still dreaming of marrying his mother, before slowly and carefully placing the phone nearly a foot away from his ears. Naruto just unleashed the beast class. Whoa. What's happening? Shuru and Ilya, who blushed immensely when seeing her brother nearly naked, to see Naruto holding the phone away from him to hear that scream. Ma is being Holly Kujo, Naruto whined as he felt his ears were ringing from that. Who? Shuru asked confused. Doting mother. Ilya said, covering her eyes with her hands to explain Naruto's reasoning of telling the character's name. Basically like mom, but more forgiving, even when Naruto would curse at her. I doubt that, Shuru said, as no one had the courage to do that, save for Naruto, as their mother seemed to dote on him the most, as did his father did for Ilya. Shuru had an equal amount of love from them, but it seems that the youngest get priority love, which was fine with him as his mother nearly suffocates Naruto at times, both figuratively. XXXXX flashback XXXXXMMMMMM. A screaming but muffled Naruto cried for help as his mother held him in her sleeping grasp, as she had returned early to bond with her baby, and figure a nap with him would be a good way to bond. Not realizing her huge sensors were preventing him from getting any oxygen. Ah, isn't this nice, Naru-chan? The mother of Naruto sleepily said as she hugged him deeper. It wasn't until an hour later that her husband pulled her away when Naruto was a few seconds from having brain damage. XXXXX. Ah. My baby loves his mama. The woman squealed from the phone as she reins herself, barely, to speak to Naruto. Don't worry, sweetie. Mama will ask Liz to find it. Go to school and know mama's love will have to get you through the day. MWHAA. Naruto hung up the phone with a small blush as he heard the kissing sound that his mother did. I am so never doing that again. He loved hhis mother, truly, but it was so embarrassing to have kiddish mother who just dotes on him. Time to head to school. Ah, Naruto, Naruto-sama, Naruto-kun, you're still naked. The whole household screamed out as Naruto left the house, as his towel fell down. XXXXX. Naruto was sitting in class as he made some notes on the enemy he fought. Only Mindless responded to others when they greeted him, as this was far important, although he draw a stick figure of the pirate woman with two large circles to indicate. Oi, Naruto. Naruto looked up to see a pink-haired girl staring at him. Did you hear about the new transfer student? Huh. It's a first for me, he said with a bored look. He forgot her name, and she was one of Ilya's usual group of friends. Wait, it was Nanaki Moriyama. He snapped as the girl gave him a weird look. Oh, okay, she said before moving back to her group of friends. As Naruto looked around and remembered that he recently transferred from his old private school, Konoha, to here as he was still new. He shrugged as he heard his bag shifting. Try not to move as much, Topaz. Naruto muttered under his breath as a small glow came from his bag before pushing it between his chair and one desk legs to prevent it from moving anymore. How can I if you're pushing against me on the chair? Topaz growled in irritation. Look, we just need to know their past and names, then we can devise the perfect MMMMH. Naruto stuffed his foot into his bag as he tried to pretend he didn't do on purpose. We'll get info later after school. I know a girl who can help us. And pray tell, who would that be? Topaz muffled out. A teacher of mine, Naruto said as he resumed thinking on the possible leads that can help him. As only a few women pirates were ever that popular in the past, such as Anna and Mary, the infamous duo of pirates. Fine. Just stop pushing me and I'll behave, thanks, Naruto said, pulling his foot out of the bag. Don't suppose you know about any female pirates? The only one come up to mind is, no, can't be. Topaz said as his voice sounded that he wouldn't consider it. The blonde hummed, but it was stop as the kid saw the door open to show his childish teacher coming into the room. Good morning, everyone. Taiga greeted, watching the students looking at her. We got a new student coming today. And of course, Taiga is so excited. Naruto rolled his eyes at her enthusiasm. Topaz, wake me up when class starts. He asked his friend before laying his head down on his desk. Understow. Ah, you might want to look up, kiddo. The voice said as the object peeked outside of Naruto's bag to catch the new student. Huh. Naruto lifted his head up to see. You gotta be shitting me, he crudely said as he saw the girl from last night, Miyu, in front of the class. Why in the world was she here? Perhaps to keep an eye on Ilya and you. Even though Olivia has no real identity for you, It might be a safe bet that you're a student here when you came last night. Topaz theorized his conclusion as Naruto nodded discreetly to agree. Be careful, that girl might be a smart one underneath her stoic face. As they said this, they watched the young girl taking the seat of the far corner of the room, while Taiga immediately left as she forgot the printouts for schoolwork. As the girls quickly swarm around her and soon the boy watching her from afar with small blushes, no doubt for her Western features that made her look like a French doll. She's popular. Topaz deadpan as the sight was odd to see for a girl not talking at all to the classmates she has. Well, she is the new kid around the block, so no surprise, Naruto shrugged. So not my. Naruto stopped as he saw Ilya and Miyu leaving soon after. Ilya got found out already. Truly, it is a blessing to be not in an actual war. I fear she might have been the first master to die. Topaz sighed as Naruto shook his head. He never saw Ilya when she was full on berserker mode. He was pretty sure a lot of people would have died if that happened. So then, what now? Sleep. Naruto answered as Topaz hummed in agreement. Sleep. XXXXXXXX after lunchtime XXXXXXXX. Who can answer this? Taiga asked cheerfully as she used the chalkboard to show a small yet tough math question. Everyone stared at her. Not a single hand was raised. Naruto was already finished with every question in his school workbook, while the young man hated studying. His father would allow him to do what he wants when he finished his school work, so, what's better than doing everything at once to have a lot of free time until next year? The question was simple to him, and was going to raise his hand until he watched Miyu walked up. Knock them dead, he said lazily to the girl who went past his desk. Thank you for volunteering, Miyu-chan. Taiga smiled brightly, passing the chalk to her. Naruto moaned out when he saw the little girl did the answer, then started to do integrals and formulas to show her work on why it was correct. Okay, so she's smarter than me, I could live with that. Oh my, Topaz muttered, looking at the plethora of mathematical formulas. She's a genius. Shut up, man, Naruto pathetically said. XXXXX. Next was art class. Naruto was always great in this due to his free time letting him have enough time to draw most of his favorite anime characters with lots of practice. The one he currently was working on was himself wearing Johnny Joestar clothes while fighting against an odd woman with silver hair wielding a long katana. Suzuka-chan. What are you drawing? Taiga voice echoed as Naruto tilted his head to see that the girl, not again. Oi. Stop using my likeness for ya damn BL crap. Naruto screamed out when he saw it was him, being pushed down by a handsome-looking doctor. Hey, you gave all rights away when I made that pic with you kissing Jolan Kuga. Everyone sweatdrop when the young man jumped from his spot and bodyslammed her into the desk, knocking her out before burning the picture. Giving a look of rage, the young man pointed to them all. No one talks about this, ever. Everyone nodded furiously, seeing that they don't want to make Naruto any madder than he is now. What's this? What now? Did she wake? Whoa, that's cool, Naruto said in awe when he pushed Taiga, who somehow hit her head on the teacher's desk, again, to see a multicolored cubism work of art from Miyu's sketchbook. That's like high school work you did. Maybe she's not bad. XXXXX. Okay, so you apply it like this. Miyu said, holding Naruto's hand as she made him drizzle chocolate sauce into a slice of chocolate mousse cake. Then it has the appeal of an upper-class dessert. Naruto nodded before flipping a Hamburg steak with ease, as he placed on a plate with many other dishes they were able to do. Thanks for the presentation lesson. He thanked kindly as the girl did bow in return. Thank you for the assistance and explanation of under-seasoning for later on cooking. Ehehe. Well, it's nothing really, just. Arghhh, you two are killing me. Taiga screamed as she pointed to their full-course meal. It was hard to deal with Naru-chan. But now I got two overachieving students. How the heck did you make a cake with a frying pan? My brother taught me. Miyu and Naruto said before looking at each for saying the exact thing. XXXXX. Okay, I love that girl. Naruto chuckled as Topaz was flying next to him when class ended when students had to change for gym. I didn't think she knew how to make a chocolate sauce from scratch like I did. You are so. How does any child know how to make a slice of cake from a frying pan? Topaz said, getting up in Naruto's face. You are so. Uh-oh. What? Something I said. Naruto said as Topaz looked around as if he was being hunted. Topaz, what's wrong? Talk to me. Brother, hell. Topaz said as two wands flew into the room that Naruto was in. One with blue wings with 3 sets of white circles on each one with another 2 wings but black and smaller below them, while the other was a pale pink in its wings. Hello Ruby, Sapphire. Wait, brother? Naruto looked at Topaz, then to the other wands, then back at him. Long story, these 2 idiots, scratch that, the pink one is an idiot. The other is a sweet girl, we were made at a similar time, I was the first one. Topaz stated as Ruby gave tick marks on her body at being called an idiot. Ah. Why do you have to be so mean to me, Ruby snapped. Because you are an idiot. Topaz deadpanned, it's the truth. Sue. This is little Naruto. Ruby said floating around the boy to judge him. No wonder little Ilya has a crush on him, he's cute and censory at the same time. A wild blonde with a feminine look on his face. Snap. Oi. I think I felt someone said I had a cute face, right? Naruto smiled sweetly, so sweetly that Ruby paled when he grabbed her from the air. Are feminine, that's a death flag right there. You triggered him, Topaz muttered. May you rest in peace, he bowed in mock respect. No, I didn't think God that hurts. She screamed when Naruto started to bite on one of her wings from her words. You did thought it, oh, someone help, Ruby wailed. No, the 2 other floating wands stated. Sapphire turned to her brother with a confused voice. Why did you choose him? I can see his magical potential, but it would have been more useful to have. I know, but Ronnie agreed to my choice. Topaz stated sternly, after all, that girl of yours is odd too. Hearing his words carefully, the blue wand bowed, I apologize. Think nothing of it. Can someone help me? Ruby cried out. No. Sapphire and Topaz shouted back. XXXXXXXXXXXXXX. After school XXXXXXXXXXXX. Are you going to the city? Ilya asked as Naruto nodded as they made their way home when class ended, but it was soon will be sunset if they take their time. Just need to say hi to my teacher, he replied before snapping his fingers. I need to go home first, just in case Liz and Sella found my thing. Okay. Ilya watched her brother running off with a smile. She felt a little hurt that he always keep his secrets for so long, but it was almost normal at this point. Might as well go to the park until it's time. With a small pout, she walked off. This was going to be boring. With that, Naruto went and successfully reached the station in time to get into the city he lived in. As soon as the first stop came, the young man left and started to head into an alleyway. If she was right, then I take a turn here, Naruto said to himself as he kept running. Then just going straight. He added. Then, turn left. He said, next before coming upon a neighborhood street. He keeps this process for a long time, until he reached a dead end where he saw a door, found Ya. He smiled as the young man walked into the door. Sensei, I'm here. Huh. That's weird. Bam. I got you now bit oh hey Naruto. A red-haired woman said holding a shotgun as she kicked open the door, flunging Naruto in the process, before he slammed his back against the wall, leaving a crater impression on said wall. Ow. Naruto wheezed before falling the wall and flat on his face. Ow. He then immediately stood up with help from the older woman who was motherly petting his body. Naruto-kun, I am so sorry for that. The woman said looking over Naruto protectively. I didn't hurt you too badly, did I? No. I'm fine. OWW. Naruto winced when his arms started to feel a bit itchy, and pulled up to see some glass that must have been on the floor when he fell back from being slammed into the wall. When noticing the mistake she made, the woman gave a painful look from hurting the boy. Oh dear, come on, I'm helping you. The red-haired female said, holding Naruto's hand, and forced him into the building. The young boy nodded as he knew no words would stop her from helping him. Nice to see you too, Tuko-sensei.
Going into the kitchen, she had Naruto sat down and went into the cupboard and pulled out a first aid kit. Sitting next to him, she opened the kit and began to apply first aid. It might.
Knock knock, oh no. Naruto deadpanned when the woman stopped her work to head over to the door to see who it was. Tuko, you promised to play nice. He trailed off to see the woman angrily slam her first aid kit to the desk. Tuko, you promised. The young man yelled as the woman reached the door. Creek. Naruto swallowed his spit when hearing the door slowly opening to show Aoko. Hey. Wham. You. Tuko started as she used her right palm to wipe some blood from her busted lip when Aoko, her sister, punched her. Punch like a censored, like always. Fuck you. Aoko screeched before pouncing on her dear sister. Naruto sighed as he just simply walked to them, before evading the scuffle and proceeded to the kitchen. Guess it's not time for learning today. He mumbled as he started to make a sandwich. You girls want something? The young magical boy asked to be kind to his hosts and teachers. No. They said. All right, have it your way. Naruto shrugged, before continuing to make his sandwich. After making 6 of them, then cutting them into cute little triangles, he left the kitchen to see Tuko seriously trying to choke her sister in a neckhold. Phew. Naruto breathed out before clapping his hands. Hi. Alpha sibling for this week goes to Tuko. Older sister wins, the young announced, although with no real emotion, as he raised Tuko's arm like a referee would do for a winner. Tuko simply lost her angry before standing tall, along with Naruto lifting him into the air as he was still grasping her arm. Alpha sis. XXXXXXXXXX bitch. Aoko said as she nursed her cheek with a slab of frozen steak. Could you at least get me a bag of ice, instead of this Flintstones gimmick? Nope. Tuko said with a beautiful snide on her face, before picking up a sandwich and slowly ate it. And you sit here Naruto, the older woman said using her free left hand to pull Naruto to her side. See this sis, he likes me. Must resist urge to kill you. Aoko deadpanned before smiling at Naruto. So what's with seeing my itch sister? Naruto could clearly heard the swear but smiled. You two know anything about Avengers or rulers? The two sisters instantly sent each other a look of understanding before shaking their heads. Nah, unfortunately no. Oh, you not coming down with middle school delusion early are you? Tuko asked as her sister stifled an upcoming giggle that almost left her mouth. Cause we need to get you a girlfriend. Indeed, Aoko nodded with a grin. Quite. Tuko agreed also smiling. Someone like me, the sisters said in unison before Naruto sighed. Here we go Aga XXXXXXXXXXXOWWWW. The women cried holding their swollen cheeks when they pulled on each other. In all honesty why do you want to know those things? The younger sister said placing the steak on her face, and grimace when it was no longer frozen but warm slab of meat. Making a book. Naruto skillfully lied as he inwardly felt relief when they accepted it. So no real information from his teachers. Well, watching you two pummel each was fun, but I have a date. Sore, date. The women cried out in shock. Since when did he have a girlfriend? They didn't hear anything about this. HMHM. Naruto chuckled as it was easy to make those women trigger from his jokes. See ya. XXXXXXXXXXXX back home XXXXXXXXXXXX Naruto sighed as he quickly went home to collect the object that his mother made the maids do. Ehehe. Made the maids. Naruto chuckled at the possible tongue twister as he saw Rani waiting for him where they fought assassin. Sorry for being late, here. He tossed 2 small objects to the girl who barely caught it. Her expression was shock if Naruto had to guess. Oh, who was he kidding? This was the first time he actually saw something other than her Buddhist-like face. Where did you? They lost their conversation as Naruto grabbed Topaz and transformed into his magician clothing as he saw 2 figures walking towards him. A couple. A man wearing a black suit with a black matching fedora with a red ribbon around it. On his left hip was a flint-style pistol and katana within a white sheath. His unkempt hair was tied into a spiky ponytail, making him look very well dressed, conflicting his lazy face. But the stranger thing was, he's got a stand. Ah, so jealous, Naruto squealed when he saw a floating schoolgirl on the man's right side, wearing a white old-school high schooler girl uniform. A sailor-style one. Her long black hair that stretched out nearly making Naruto miss the scaly design scarf around her neck. Her empty look on her face made Naruto slightly unnerved when he stared into her ruby-colored eyes that her pale skin only made it more radiant. The man gave a small smile as he bowed his head. Greetings, I am here for you Sir Naruto. The boy glared at the man who sighed as he watched Naruto into a battle stance, was kinda hoping to get you easily, oi. He glared at the woman. Get to it and bring back to Our Lady. She only nodded as Naruto saw Rani passing him the items he passed to her. How do I use these? He asked as the woman floated towards him slowly. Place it on top of Topaz and say, include, she said, hoping this will finally get them a win at least. Naruto took out a card as he tossed the other to the side, which Rani grabbed before it could even fall to the floor. Include, Naruto smiled as Topaz was surrounded with white forms of energy before it turns black and soon returned to white. It repeated as he dashed forward. Class. Thanks.